Here's the thing. I really hope they actually address how Ahsoka dealt with Anakin's death. Like, she knew that Anakin was Darth Vader. That's what we learn in Star Wars Rebels. We go through her whole, like, realization of that. And kind of, we see how her character has to come to terms with that. We haven't yet seen her reaction as to how she feels about Anakin dying as Darth Vader. Like, she knows Luke Skywalker, right? We saw that in Book Boba. Luke would have probably told her, hey, by the way, I killed Darth Vader. I killed my father, who I know was your master, right? So she's had that realization at some point. She knows Darth Vader and Anakin are dead. We haven't seen her reaction and her response to that, and I'm really hoping this show actually kind of goes into that, because it needs to be addressed. It's something we need to see more of what's internal to Ahsoka. And that was an interesting thing, I think, about her conversation with Baylan Skoll as well. He was like, saying Anakin spoke very highly of you if you lived to see what he became. And oh yeah, and the other thing he put to her was like, why did you abandon your master? Which is that whole thing coming back from Star Wars Rebels, which I loved. She went through a whole internal moral conflict in Rebels about abandoning Anakin and the sense of guilt she felt for feeling like it was partly her fault that he turned to the dark side. Super, super interesting kind of stuff. And the stuff that I think, that's what I want to see more from Dave Filoni's side of things. I think he's really good at, digging into those kinds of subjects. But it's something we haven't really seen much of in this show. So when Baylan Skoll posed that question to her and is like, or, why did you like abandon him? She immediately just puts up defense, she backs off completely, and she's got a barrier up, like an emotional mental barrier. And she's like, I'm not here to talk about my past. Like, she doesn't want to address it. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to acknowledge it. So clearly she has some deep buried emotional trauma. And I think that part of her is something that needs to be explored a lot more and is really interesting. I think as far as this show goes, I want to see more of her reaction to what happened with Anakin, how he turned to the dark side, but also how he died and, was redeemed, I guess, and turned back to the light. I want her reaction to that. We don't have that yet. That's going to be so interesting if they actually go down that way.